Welcome to Greenshine Farmers video blog about a family starting a farm and going back to the homestead lifestyle.
Hey guys, welcome to Greenshine Farmers. In today's episode, we're going to kind of run through all the stuff that we've done to get ready for winter. So we're going to talk about our high tunnels, we're going to talk about our low tunnels, we're going to go inside this tunnel and kind of check out where everything is at. So down here we had arugula planted in this tunnel, and arugula is probably the least hardy crop that we planted this year. Now we've already gotten several cuts off of this, and we're not really going to get any more. It's kind of just too cold right now. We're right into December and the temperatures have dropped into the low teens out here. We've also got several inches of snow. So this stuff is pretty much finished. You see we got our worm bin here, and these guys are still cranking away. I was a little bit worried about the worms, thinking maybe they would freeze, but you know what? They really generate so much heat by breaking all that stuff down that they keep themselves warm. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about these low tunnels here. Now these are basically just half-inch aluminum EMT conduit you can get at any hardware store. They're about $3 a stick. They come in 10-foot lengths, and we have this bender over here that Johnny's sells. There's a number of greenhouse stores that supply them. They're around $60. But basically it's this tool right here. So you'll feed in the line of conduit through here, and you'll kind of just bend it, and this kind of will just bend it to the perfect shape. And once you get all your hoops bent, pretty much space them anywhere between 4 and 5 feet apart from one another, and they sell these clips that you kind of clip the plastic to it. So a couple of things I've learned about these. They're not ideal. They're kind of a pain in the butt, actually. You know, you really have to have them secure because they have no strapping going over top. They really need to all be clipped at every single one. So you need to clip them at 3 points. You want to clip them here, here, and down here. We didn't end up tarping this bed. It just, you know, really wasn't worth it. We've got some cover crops coming in a little bit later than I would have liked to have gotten it in the ground, but it'll be okay. But you can see, like this one, right? We had to really stretch these as the beds were a bit further apart than I would have liked, and we found out that we have to bag it at every single bow. So you want to clip each bow 3 times on either side, once in the center, and you want to put a bag of sand or heavy rocks at each bow. And the other thing I really learned is it needs to be tight. Here we get crazy strong winds that will really just come through, and that's what happened to us last year. We had a bunch of low tunnels out, the wind came through, and if it gets one little corner up, it'll tear the whole thing off. It just kind of acts as like a big sail. So the trick has been to make sure that the plastic is tight. And you know, it's not perfect. You can see it's kind of sagging a bit here. I'm not too worried about that. It's, you know, spinach will be fine. Another thing to note is that if the leaves are touching the plastic, it's not good. Those leaves are most likely going to be unsellable. They might look okay, but the frost damage will show up in 2 to 3 days, and then you'll have a bunch of leaves that go bad prematurely. So kind of learned that one the hard way. So basically we just will not cut this outside edge where it's touching the plastic. And like I said, low tunnels are not really ideal, but they're a good option for people that don't have much money and still want to overwinter crops. And certain crops like carrots, radishes, turnips, you know, anything like that, spinach, do great under these, as they don't really require much care. Now by contrast, these high tunnels are awesome. They're a bit more expensive. You know, you're looking at, to do something like these low tunnels, to cover 200-foot beds, with the plastic, the hoops, the clips, maybe you're looking at around $200 or so, $250 maybe. To cover 4 beds in here, you're looking at around $1,500. So significant price difference, but it's really nice being able to walk in here. And it also stays pretty darn warm. You don't have to worry really about the greens touching the sides as much. And you know, as I mentioned in an earlier episode, these are the new kits from Farmer's Friend, and they're 16 inches higher, which is really nice. It'll be great for when we're trellising, you know, tomatoes and anything like that. And yeah, I mean, these are just a pleasure to work in, and they hold up really well. I mean, you're not having to bag the sides. We've got this strap running up top, and that kind of holds all the plastic in place, and these are just really well built structures, so you know, don't really have to worry about wind or snow or anything like that really messing with them too much. Now I'm not really going to go into how to put these together, because we did a video last year on that. You can click the link if you want to see that video, but I do want to touch on some things that we've learned this year. Now we have to fix some of these. You can see here, this bow is out of place, and the reason for that is what's happening is down here at the ends, we need to kind of redo this. First, we need to bow out this end bow. We need to push it that way so that it's almost at like a 45-degree angle, because what will happen is having the tension here tends to pull this bow to the right. Another thing that puts tension on the whole structure is water will tend to pull up down in here. So we need to kind of take this plastic and rearrange it in such a way that it's not catching water. Because as you can see with some of these, it'll catch water down here. It puts pressure on this whole thing and it pushes that bow in, and then the purlin strap that holds all the bows in place becomes loose, and eventually, you know, it will fall down. So I mean, it's not an extreme emergency right now. I mean, honestly, we could probably leave it like this for the entire season and be just fine, but yeah, it would just bother me too much. Here's the site of what I'm going to be working on today. We need to build out a platform to wash our totes. It's way too cold to wash our totes outside, so we need to build something out in here that has drainage. We can route the water out. So we're going to kind of sacrifice the ends of these beds. We're going to be redoing this next year anyway. So for right now, we're just going to be building that out. Alright, cool. We got that all cleared out. Clearing about an 8x12 area. We're going to move these pallets. It's not level. It's not going to be level. It won't really matter, to be honest with you. It's going to slope down and to the right, which is what we need. That's where we're going to put the drain, so that works perfect. And yeah, I mean, this is good enough of a foundation. I just didn't want to lose all that compost and good topsoil that we had built up. Alright, we got our platform laid out here. I put down some landscape fabric. Had to cut this piece in half because it wasn't quite long enough to cover the ends, but this middle piece will be covered by the platform itself, so shouldn't have to worry about any weeds there. Got our cinder blocks down. They're all evenly spaced. This is going to be an 8x12, so you know, this should be plenty of support. Alright, cool. Got our platform in place. It's basically just 3 sheets of 4x8 plywood, 3/4 inch thickness, and now we are going to put some 2x4s to kind of tie all the pieces together. Alright, we got our 2x4s in place, holding all of our plywood pieces together. Now we just got to figure out how to turn it over. Okay, here we go. We got it all framed out with 2x6s. Got some corner brackets on here. I took some 3-inch screws and put it in the sides for some extra support. I need a 2-inch drill bit and then some more PVC. But the plan is to basically drill a hole right here at the low point, kind of route it this way, dig a trench, and then we'll route it over there to the culvert. So it'll be really nice having an indoor space to wash our totes. Alright, so we got our first real big snowfall last night, and luckily we got a lot of these winter preps done before it came, so just wanted to show the final project here. You can see our hoop houses are kind of a mess. We didn't have a chance to put the bows outward before this snowstorm. We were just so busy prepping for everything else, so we're gonna have a bit of work to do this next week, but here it is. I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just a place to wash our totes, and you know, everything drains really nice. And I ran PVC all the way down, connects under there. You can't see it because of the snow, but then it basically dips down, and we ran it all the way to the culvert over there. Pretty good snowstorm last night. I think we got probably like 8 inches or so. Yeah, these tunnels just got hit hard. These low tunnels though, actually holding up okay. Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. You know, we might lose a little bit of crops on the end here, but I mean, for the most part, that's not bad. I thought this is kale and lettuce under here. I've got to harvest it tomorrow, so I'm not sure how that's going to happen. So one hard lesson learned from last year was basically the fact that we need to bury all of our lines. So we've got our water totes here. They hold about 300 gallons each. This runs to the trailer. We got the pipes wrapped with basically like a foam insulator, and then this reflective sticky tape. Wherever it's not wrapped, it's buried. So we run it underground and then have it come up there, connect to the trailer. So here's the line that runs to our packing shed. And you know, another option, if you can't, you know, if you don't want to bury the lines, just if you don't really need them all the time, since we only use this packing shed 2 days a week, you can just clear the lines, which connects to the frost-free hydrant, and then we can just walk over here and turn it up, and we've got water. This is our pump house. Yeah, and we've got it tarped just for an extra layer, but yeah, we got this thing completely wrapped up in Reflectix. Got the pipes wrapped. We've got some of this old cooler panels that I had in the barn that we're not using. And we got the lower half insulated, but you know, it's better than nothing. If you guys like this video and you'd like to see more like it, leave us a comment down below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, visit us at greenshinefarms.com and follow us on Instagram at greenshinefarms. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.